Hello, my friends. Let's get right down to it. That title, it's pretty shocking, isn't it? Daily masturbation is silently killing your kidneys. I bet when you saw that, a part of you felt a jolt of fear, and maybe another part of you thought, oh come on, that can't possibly be true. And I want to tell you, you're right to feel both. My name is Dr. David, and for the past 25 years, I've dedicated my career to men's health. I'm not here today to scare you. I'm here to have an honest, man-to-man conversation about a topic that's often surrounded by silence, shame, and a lot of misinformation. We're going to break down what's a myth, what's a half-truth, and what the real danger to your health is that you need to be aware of as we get older. So, grab your morning cup of coffee, find a comfortable chair, and let's talk. No judgment, just straight talk. I promise. Alright, let's get straight to the most important question. Does the act of masturbation directly destroy, or kill, your kidneys? Let me be perfectly clear, based on all available evidence from modern Western medicine, the answer is no. I'll repeat that, no. There is absolutely no direct, medically proven link that says the act of ejaculation, whether through masturbation or sex, causes kidney failure. Your kidneys aren't going to shut down because you do it. So why does this scary myth even exist? It often comes from older medical philosophies, particularly from traditional Chinese medicine and the concept of Jing, what's considered our vital essence, or life force. In this view, Jing is stored in the kidneys, and each ejaculation depletes that precious energy. Running out of Jing leads to weakness, aging, and kidney problems. Now, there is a certain wisdom in the Eastern philosophy of moderation and balance that we should respect. However, in terms of modern anatomy and physiology, our kidneys simply don't work that way. Think of it this way. Your kidneys aren't a battery or a fuel tank that can run empty. Think of them as a high-tech water filtration system. Their main job is to filter waste out of your blood to create urine, balance your electrolytes, and regulate your blood pressure. It's an incredibly complex and durable biological machine. So what actually damages this filtration system? It's when you pour sand and sludge into it every day. The sand and sludge here are uncontrolled high blood pressure and high blood sugar, diabetes. These are the two #1 enemies silently destroying millions of kidneys across America. So, let me be clear one last time, masturbation does not break your filter. But a lifestyle that lets your blood pressure and blood sugar run wild absolutely does. However, that doesn't mean our conversation ends here. Because even if it doesn't directly harm the kidneys, there's another part of our body, a very sensitive part that men our age are all concerned about, and that's the prostate. So what's the real connection there? We'll get to that right now. Now, let's talk about the prostate. This is where things get a bit more nuanced, a little more delicate. I know that for years, we've heard all sorts of conflicting information on this. Some say it's harmful. Others say it's helpful. So what's the truth? Let's start with the good news. Several major studies, including a very well-known one from Harvard University, have pointed to something quite surprising. They found that men who ejaculated frequently, specifically around 21 times a month, were associated with a lower risk of prostate cancer compared to those who ejaculated less often. The theory behind this might be that it flushes out the system, clearing out potentially harmful substances that can build up in the prostate over time. But, and this is a very big but, gentlemen, so please pay attention, this does not mean the more, the better for everyone. If you already have a condition like prostatitis, which means your prostate is inflamed and sore, then frequent sexual activity or masturbation can sometimes make the uncomfortable symptoms worse. Imagine it this way: walking is great for your health, right? But if you have a sprained ankle, trying to walk or run on it will only make the injury more painful and swollen. The act of walking didn't cause the sprain, but it makes the situation worse when you're already injured. The prostate is similar. For a healthy prostate, regular ejaculation can be beneficial. But for an inflamed prostate, it can cause more irritation. So, the answer here isn't a simple yes or no. It depends. It depends entirely on the current state of your own body. And this is exactly why listening to your body is so incredibly important. And this leads us to an even deeper question. If the problem isn't entirely with the act itself, then what is the real danger, the real connection between this daily habit and kidney health that the video title mentioned? The answer will make you think about your health in a whole new way. So if I just told you that masturbation doesn't directly kill your kidneys, you're probably asking, Dr. David, then why on earth did you use such a shocking title? And that is a completely fair question. The reason is that there is a real, but indirect, connection that we absolutely must talk about. The dangerous keyword in that title, the word we need to focus on, isn't masturbation. The keyword is daily, or, to be more precise, compulsive. I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. Is this act, for you, a choice you actively make for pleasure and relaxation? Or, does it sometimes feel like an obligation? A compulsion you have to do just to get through the day, to cope with stress, with loneliness, with that nagging anxiety, or even just sheer boredom. You see, that's a whole different ballgame. When any behavior becomes a crutch to lean on to deal with chronic stress, it's a symptom of a much larger problem. And chronic stress, my friends, is one of the most dangerous silent killers in our society. When you're constantly stressed, your body is flooded with a hormone called cortisol. You've probably heard of it. High cortisol levels, day in and day out, directly lead to high blood pressure. It disrupts your sleep. It makes you crave sugary, salty, unhealthy foods for that instant comfort. And what did we just say are the two biggest destroyers of kidneys in America? High blood pressure and diabetes. Do you see the connection now? The compulsive behavior isn't the cause. It's a symptom of the stress, and it's the stress itself that is doing the real damage. Think of it this way: the behavior is like a fever. The fever itself isn't the disease. It's a warning sign, a signal that your body is fighting something on the inside, maybe an infection. It's the same thing here. The compulsive habit is the fever. The real infection is the unresolved stress, anxiety, and loneliness. And it's this infection that is silently raising your blood pressure and damaging your kidneys. So, we shouldn't just focus on getting the fever down. We have to find and treat the disease that caused it. The conversation we need to have isn't about being ashamed of a symptom, it's about recognizing that it's signaling a deeper problem that needs our attention. So the next, very natural question is, how do I know when it's too much for me? Forget trying to find some magic number online. Don't worry about what the guys at the golf course or the club are saying. The truth is, there is no one-size-fits-all number. A 70-year-old man's body is different from his own body at 50, and it's completely different from his neighbor's. The only formula that truly matters is within you. It's in your ability to listen to the signals your body is sending you every single day. Ask yourself these things honestly. Are you feeling chronically fatigued? Not the good kind of tired after a hard day's work in the yard, but a lingering exhaustion that leaves you with no energy for the things you used to love? Do you have a dull ache in your lower back, sore knees, or do you sometimes feel lightheaded or dizzy for no reason? And what about your mind? Do you feel like you're walking around in a fog? Is it hard to concentrate? Are you forgetful, and do you just not feel as sharp as you used to? And here's the most important question: is this habit interfering with your life? Is it taking up time and mental energy that you should be giving to your family, to your hobbies, or to taking care of your health? You see, all of those things, the fatigue, the aches, the mental fog, that is your body's own check engine light. That light doesn't come on to tell you that your engine is dead. It isn't a sign of failure. It is simply a signal, a quiet request from your own body, saying, "Hey, let's look under the hood for a minute. Something is out of balance." So, the real question isn't how many times is too many? The real question is, what is my body trying to tell me? And when you start to listen, you will have the most accurate answer for yourself. So, after all of this, what's our game plan? Where do we start? I want you to know that it's much simpler than you might think. This isn't about prohibition or stopping something entirely. It's about rebalancing your life. And here are the 3 crucial steps to do that, starting today. Step 1, and this is the most important: protect your kidneys from the real enemies. Forget the myths and focus on what science has proven. This means, get your blood pressure under control. If you don't know your numbers, get them checked. Get your blood sugar checked, especially if diabetes runs in your family. And something incredibly simple: drink water. Plain water, not soda or sugary drinks. Cut back on salt and processed foods that come in boxes and bags. Trust me, doing these basic things well is 90% of the battle for your kidney health. Step 2, address the root cause. Fix the leaky roof in your life. That is the stress and the loneliness. You need to find healthier outlets to cope with them. Get up and go for a walk around the neighborhood or in a park. Breathe in some fresh air. Pick up an old hobby you let go of, maybe it's woodworking, fixing things, or weekend fishing. Pick up the phone and call an old friend, call your kids or grandkids for no reason at all, just to chat. Seek out connection. Maybe it's joining a VFW hall, a community gardening class, or a card group at the local senior center. Connection with other people is the best medicine for the soul, and it is the mortal enemy of stress. And step 3, the step that shows your courage: talk to your doctor. Be honest with them. If you're worried about your prostate, about your energy levels, or if you feel like any habit is controlling your life instead of the other way around, tell them. We in the medical profession have heard it all. There is absolutely no shame in taking charge of your own health. In fact, it's a sign of strength and wisdom. These 3 steps, taking care of the body, nourishing the soul, and seeking professional help. That is the path back to balance and to a long-lasting, durable health. So, let's circle back to the beginning. Is the habit of daily masturbation killing your kidneys? The definitive answer is no. But, is a life of unmanaged stress, loneliness, and the poor health habits they bring silently damaging your kidneys and your overall well-being? Absolutely, yes. It certainly is. You see, the real conversation about sexual health, especially at our age, is never about shame or guilt. It's about overall health. It's about listening to our bodies. It's about living a long, vibrant, and happy life, a life that you have worked hard for and absolutely deserve to enjoy. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please, leave a comment below. What health topics are on your mind right now? Was there anything we discussed today that made you think? And if you found this straight talk helpful, please please take a second to hit that like button. It truly helps this video reach other men who might need to hear it too. And don't forget to subscribe so we can continue to have these honest conversations about men's health. Thank you for your time. Take care of yourselves.